So hi guys, I'm Chen Ziyuan. Now I'm coming to you live from the city of Jinggangshan, and also currently I'm standing at the Jinggangshan Revolution Museum. As you can see, right here at this part, it's like a depiction of the mountain area, and also it looked very real with all the lighting and things that's uh, lighting up right here, and also turns color because just a few minutes ago there was a big little explanation coming out saying what is really about the Jinggangshan spirit and also what about the special of this location. So this is the background, the huge landscape. When you walk into the museum, you will come right to this. And also, what's interesting is there are so many tourists today right here, and you can see a lot of them are with the little red caps, and also some of them have like a red scarf in front of them. You know, as a symbol of the young pioneer of the Chinese Communist Party, and they just come here and see what is it really about in Jinggangshan. So let's take a look and let's go inside to check out what's inside. So unlike what I usually look like in front of camera, I have my little crossbody bag with me today. I'm also one of the tourists because it's also my first time here in the museum. So I feel like it's pretty interesting. I'm holding the camera now, so you can see from the first point of view what is it really like to go around this museum. It's packed with people right here and lots of tourists today. It's a really cloudy and also rainy-ish day, but it doesn't stop these people coming here to really check out the museum. And up front, I think it's the first board is about how the Communist Party and also the Kuomintang, the Chinese Nationalist Party, failed to cooperate. And this is part of the picture that they set up right here. Let's take a look. And this is the Chinese Communist Declaration. Well, according to officials and also the tour guide here, these are some of the recreation of the original document. And you can see in the middle of tourists. Ooh, 让我过一下，谢谢。It's definitely a tourist destination. So, Jinggangshan is also known for its being a revolutionary base, and a lot of the real recreation of this is an employment letter of certain position of the farmers. What is it called? Farmers Committee in Jiangxi Province. So Jinggangshan is actually located in the East China Jiangxi Province. It's known for being called the cradle of Chinese Revolution. So there are a lot of artwork right here. And this is a younger version of Chairman Mao Zedong right here in the picture. It's very obvious and easy to recognize. These are some of the publication. So this is also a main location when the Chinese Communist Party utilized the rural areas and encircled the cities and seizure of power by armed people. So this is one of the locations that they begin to use the technique. And this is a graph showing how many people uh, join the farmers committee and become a member. So the first one is, I think, 10 million in 17 provinces in 1927. And then it lists Hunan province, Hubei province, and Jiangxi province. These provinces are some of the major ones. in the fights and also the revolution period, because as I mentioned before, it's a technique to encircle the cities by workers and farmers. So there are more pictures right here. There are some recreation of the scenes of the signature moment. This is the one in Nanchang, and they recreate some of the scenes right here. And what's interesting, if you take a look at the people around me, majority of them, I think, are in their 40s and even more elderly, who is more influenced under the Chinese Revolution history, and also more of them are wearing the red scarf, as I mentioned. Oh, it's actually, so this is a handgun used by Zhu De in Nanchang. More paperwork, publications. I believe those guns are just recreation of the previous model because they look way shinier. Oh, this is the so previous handgun is in Nanchang. This one is used in Guangzhou rebellion. And the previous one is in Nanchang rebellion, and more pictures introducing the leaders and officials in the movement. This one is named Zhou Wenyong. So it's actually put on the wall based on locations. If you can read this, armed uprisings in the country were very numerous, and the Chinese Revolution entered a new period. However, due to wrong guiding principles, all the uprisings failed. So I did my little research. So this is a revolutionary base because the Communist Party was uh, losing its grounds across the country, and then they kind of gathered more forces and efforts from like farmers and workers. And by 1929, when they already recovered, they left Jinggangshan. Actually, Zhu De and also Chen Mianmao left Jinggangshan, but and I believe it's went to Hunan, and then they kind of lost its Jinggangshan, lost its control. And then after around August 1949, when the country it's free, and then the Chinese Nationalist Party is out of the country, and then Jinggangshan is back in hand of the Chinese Communist Party. So, its historical background and also what its revolutionary base is really an important in Chinese heart because it's my first time here, but I still remember when I was very young. This is in my textbooks. And there are a total of more than 30,000 items on display. The majority of them are publication and calligraphy. So that was the beginning. And this is the establishment of the Jinggangshan Revolutionary Base. As I introduced in the earlier phase, that I say this is the first time when they begin to use the encircling rural area and seizure of the power by armed people. They come here to heal some of the injured and work with farmers to because the Communist Party has known for its patience and resistance during the hardship and they come here because there are more resources here for like from agriculture as well as from the people. So the forest was able to get restocked. So this is why it's so important in the Chinese Communist Party establishment and also revolutionary history. And this is the sculpture. So it's written on the wall, 在山的上山，靠湖的下湖. So what it says is when you're near a mountain, then go up the mountain. If you're near the lake, depend on the lake. And then hold up guns and safeguard the revolution. This is what's written. So the first 4 lines are feed yourself, restock. If you're on a mountain, get what you need on the mountain for resources. If you're near the lake, go fishing or get your restock with all the resources near water. And then the bottom 4 lines, it's the same, but it's saying just get prepared and arm yourself and then safeguard our revolution. This is another one. I believe all this are recreation, although they are with cracks. And they seems to... Oh, no, maybe I'm wrong. Because this is one of the bomb, not bomb, something to the tunnel to launch a bomb. Wow, this is very cool. It's through a tree. Sorry, my English is bad. Bear with me today because I'm also like a elementary school student to read through all this, and I still need to learn way a lot. Because when I was young, in my impression, this is just one story, but you really see how the entire process of the revolution unfold in front of you, and all the tools they are using are very simple, but very smart and interesting. Some of the knife. They didn't have any like modern equipment. They pretty much just. I feel like I read this in comic books, but it's real in front of me. More guns. Also a flag. So this is a booklet right here. This one. It's Lai Yi. The person's name Lai Yi and how much he paid for being a member in the Communist Party. You pretty much do have to pay your member fee if you choose to join. Dedication. There are more here. It's my first time here. It's pretty interesting to see how history unfolds in front of you. And they try to bring you back to really fill you up with the context behind each story and who are these people, because I feel like it's just part of the history, but to create and to really let people inherit those history and also those spirit, it's a hard part of what they're trying to do. And some of the stamp they have used. Symbol of different committee and also what they have joined. I found an interactive board right here. Let me see if I can do anything. Oh, it just...
秋收起义之后，特别是卢溪战斗的失利，使得工农革命军中不能控制，产生了悲观情绪。有的思想动摇，离开了队伍，部队中出现了枪多人少的现象。同时，随着战斗日渐频繁，伤病员也日益增加，部队到了半死不伤之不暇的地步。连战失利，部队长官产生急躁情绪，打骂体罚士兵跟非法战争非常严重。
So this is actually about the reformation of the force and why they reform and choose to reorganize the army, because before many people is really passionate about whether this fight they can win. So this is what they have changed. So 3 groups is merged into 1, about 700 people. And the structure is more clear, so they know who is in charge, who to go to.
从此确立了党对人民军队的绝对领导。第三，在部队中实行了民主主义制度，在党代表监督领导下，连以上设立士兵委员会，监督官长工作，保证官长不打骂士兵，实行官兵待遇平等。这种民主制度团结了广大的下层干部和士兵群众，
Got more people joining me. There were nobody here before. After I play this, everybody's here. So this is how the army changed its formation and they merge. And according to what the story said before, the senior level can pretty much brutally, not brutally, but harshly treat the junior ones and also the members, which in addition to those passive and bad, sad emotion, it's not good for the formation of the army and also the operation, because since it's already in Jinggangshan, the situation is not ideal. So they need to pretty much, more pictures here, reform the army so they have more best of the best people to complete the fight, especially at that time, the fight against the Chinese Nationalist Party. And also one of the key sentences of the revolution and also the spirit is simply put, 星星之火可以燎原. So in English it's saying little flame, mighty flame. So even with a little spark, a single spark could also start a fire. This is the spirit they want to really tell, introduce, and spread from Jinggangshan, and telling people, even though we got what we love is tiny forces, not many people, as you just heard at the time, one of them is only 700 people, but those people actually able to recover and gain more forces after recover in Jinggangshan. And this is a old location for The Farmers Armed Group Government. So overall, I think it gave me an impression before it's without any order, but after, when they come here in Jinggangshan, the armed force had more order under leadership of Zhu Dan and also Chairman Mao Zedong, and that's when I feel like they got reorganized, and also as I introduced earlier, they got to restock up by working with farmers and also workers. They have pretty strict rule, like you should not take anything from the people. If you borrow anything, you should return it. That's also part of the Jinggangshan spirit. Some of the comic that's on the wall right here. Worker and peasant. Oh, this is a fancy. And I think we are on to the third part. So the establishment, and now we're to the development of the revolutionary base. Combination of force in Jinggangshan Mountain. Because the group is actually formed by workers and peasants, so there are small forces from other places. As I mentioned before, location including Nanchang as well as Guangzhou, and also it's easy to get wiped out because the tools they were using and also the organization and rules are not clear. So, but now if they combine, they have stronger forces. More cartoons. Yeah, these are the rules I just mentioned with you before. So they got 3 rules and 6 attentions. So the first 3 rules: listen to the command and order, don't take anything from worker and peasants, anything. And to fight against those rich, is it called rich? Landowner. All those collections should be returned and owned by the community or the party, I believe. And then the sixth attention is, so before, because they don't have anything anywhere to sleep, and the residents will offer them a door, the board from the door to sleep on, and also the grass, the dry grass, and also be nice to people when you speak. And then fair trade is the number 4. If you borrow something, you have to return, and then if you damage anything, you need to pay for it. So these are some of the rules to regulate people's behavior. It's more like ethical practice guideline, but because as the background, people know the forces were not really well educated, so they might have some habits that's not fair for others, and if they think they're superior than others, then it's hard. So these are the guidelines and guidance for them to follow. And we got more items here. And also a huge painting right here. I think this is the recreation of the scenes when two of them are met. Yeah. The centerpiece. Chairman Mao and Judo. I think Chen Yi is the one that's behind two of them. The one in the center. There's so many information to take in. I feel like I need to be more well educated. You have to have a lot of knowledge about some song. There are more tools and weapons. So this is when Judah map of the organization and how it looks like. It's quieter on this part of the museum. This is the first time they succeed after the forced reform, and they win the first battle after that. That's the bridge that you just saw. And also, this is the achievement they made, how many machine guns they got, how many guns they got, and also materials. This is the first time, I think. And then second time and third time. So first time they got 300 guns, this one. And then they also got 2.5 machine guns. No, 2.5 rounds of machine guns. Oh. What is this part about? Pretending you're also one of the soldiers and march in the mountain. Oh. This is how they train, I believe. Giving you a sneak peek about how they train. Another big scenes. This is the two bucket that Chairman Mao used to get water for his landlord. This is the land ownership and redistribution. And this is one to show like people and also peasants are happy because they got land to farm on, to grow veggie and food on, instead of being labor and force under previous land owner and those rich. More guns. Oh, this is a huge one. These are the young pioneers. Look at it, so cute. Look pretty fierce on their faces. This is a mini recreation of another government's locations. That's I believe is in the border of Hunan. Sits on the border of Hunan. And then I believe we are on to the third exhibition. Oh wow, this is a huge museum. So as I mentioned previously, 30,000 items. That includes some of the items that we create and gather at those times, and also some of the calligraphy of those leaders. Sewing machine. I really don't know how this works, but this is a sewing machine. Sewing machine? Sewing machine. Sorry, forgive my English. Oh, this is just part of the debris of the sewing machine. And also, these are some of the tools being used at clothing factory, bedding and clothing factory to making those uniform, I believe. And this is some of toolbox they use to fix their gun and machinery. Simple tools and machinery, of course. This is another recreation scene. The Chairman Mao and the first three part are pretty young. I believe he is still pretty young. That is part of the history, part of time. Let's take a sneak peek. If there are so many people here, that means they have something to watch. Oh, a little movie theater. Oh, well, missing the whole show. That's fine. I believe it's the formal speech by Chairman Mao at that time. Oh, so this is gonna be the place that Chairman Mao used to live and work. Chairman Mao. So what it's really saying is the revolutionary base is very necessary for the Communist Party at that time. So from the second exhibition hall to this one, they are recreating some of the scenes from the first and the second and third suppression of the Chinese Nationalist Party, and how they win, what tool they use, and where they live, and what the people were like. So this is the third time. So the tour guide is trying to explain the sacrifice of Light of Judah after being captured and being tortured and sacrificed her life. So I think we are wrapping up here, and this is our brief tour, and I'm at the exit right now. You can see some souvenir and shirts and pictures right here, but let me turn the camera. So that's all I have for today, and we are wrapping up. And that's all I have for now.